Hey everyone, this is Wylam here. I'm joined with my host, Elvin Wilson. We are here at MGP Championships, and we are enjoying ourselves in this beautiful park here in Las Vegas. I am joined by the world champion 2 times in a row, Jet.
2 times.
The big man.
The big man. He is like he's still the leader in championships. So even though he didn't win this year, he's still got something to defend. Jet,
Hey, I was in the finals.
you were
He was in the finals.
You
You got to say he showed up. He showed up.
I still got it.
Right.
Still got it.
He
All
didn't
right.
say I failed.
I didn't say that either.
Okay,
He's the fastest man alive right now, as far as I know.
Yeah, still, he got that title. He got that title. Yeah.
Jet,
yeah,
how you doing,
yeah.
man?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, we're of course talking to Jordan Temkin here, two-time DRL champion, and he's in here competing. What do you think so far of this track?
I love the track, actually. It's simple
Right.
enough, right? MGP likes to complicate things for the hell of it. But it looks like they took a step back and they went, all right, let's make it so everyone can finish but get some good racing in, right? So I really like the track, actually.
Some people are saying 18 seconds, maybe 17 seconds. We'll see.
Yeah.
In the end.
What's your track time been like?
I think I'm like 30 at the moment.
That's the warm-up.
Right. I'm still like dialing in my rates. I'm still trying to figure out how drones work.
Oh, come on. Well,
I take stints, right? Like during racing season, like spring, summer, beginning of fall, I race and practice all day long. But then, because this is midwinter,
Right.
it's kind of like winter's my ski time. That's when I go ski. So
we ski up there.
right.
you funny man. Outside of grassroots racing, which is where we're at right now, we obviously are down here for the DRL tryouts as well.
Yep.
So what do you think of the tryouts? Looks like this year they try to expand it to pretty much anybody who wants to come.
Yep. I mean, it's pretty cool. We're at the Luxor at the HyperX Esports Arena, so this is a facility that's designed for this exact thing. So that's pretty rad. And then from there, they've expanded. I think it's 200 entrants or something, which is pretty much if you want to go, you can go as long as you're within that time gap. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, man. And then, whoever wins this, the multi-GP gets seeded into DRL if they so want to.
Right.
And same goes for the simulator pilot. They get a contract as well. So it's cool to be able to see this ability to work your way into the Premier League, right?
The exchange from the ground league,
right?
It's like playing pee-wee and getting called for high school or college.
It feels good, right? If you're able to work your way up like that, because before I think there was a bit of deep-seated jealousy of like, why are these guys in DRL and I'm not? But now
that was a lot of that.
Right.
I agree.
So now I think because there's this ladder that you can work on, there's entryways up. And I think that's where we want to be. Yeah,
it's definitely nice. I mean, it's pretty obvious, like the champion of, the championships for multi-GP should have a chance to go. What do you think about, the sim people getting a spot as well? Because that's a little bit different, right? So we're going from the digital world to the real world. You think it's working out well?
Yeah, I mean, Jaws, he won the first year. He's incredible, just real-life drone pilot. Robogenesis as well from year 2. And then whoever wins the third year now that they're doing the simulator tryouts at least is going to be – I mean, I think it's about dedication, right? So if these guys are dedicated enough to put in the time to win the sim tournament, they're also going to be dedicated enough to put in the time to do well
in the real world.
In the real world.
Yeah, because now it's the drive. Moving when you're doing sim, you're sitting there and you got to stay focused, and it's the same thing. It's just now you're outside, right? Or you're out with a lot of pilots. Unfortunately, now you have to deal with the other aspects of racing.
Sure, and you can't just like restart,
right?
And getting that practice time in at least.
Right.
If you're simming, you can play for
hours,
24 hours straight, right?
Restart.
Where you got to crash and fix stuff and change batteries and yada yada. But I think because of that, the sim pilots are becoming incredible pilots because they're getting that 1,000 hours of mastery much quicker than a real life FPV pilot. I really think that there is crossover there. I did spend a bit of time practicing on the simulator myself, just to like keep my fingers warm when it was getting dark at 3:30. So I really think that there is a crossover. I'm not the best at the sim, and I think that's just due to my computer system. But there's I mean, F1 drivers practice on the sim, so there's got to be something to it.
Definitely.
A lot of different aspects of professional flying, racing, driving, all do simulators from different variations, but it's the driving force to keep them moving.
Right.
And as we talked about before in this industry, a lot of it is muscle memory.
Right.
It's eye-hand coordination and muscle memory. And if you can keep that going on, then it keeps you up to par. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
and it's pretty awesome. And obviously, we are going into year 4 of DRL, and of course, Jordan Temkin is going to have to win back his title. For anybody who doesn't know, which is like 2 people in the world, he is the world champion for the first 2 years. He has dominated DRL for a while now, but I don't know. I think your mentor, not your mentor, your junior, your mentee, has tried to surpass you. What's the challenge for you going into year 4?
Yeah, I mean, we took like Nurk early on when we were at the beginning of DRL. At least he actually came and like practiced with us because he wanted to be a better racer. And I remember we were whooping him on the course with Racer 2s when he was on his like normal race mini quads, and he was getting so pissed, man. And so like to see him progress to the point that where he is now is it's really, really cool to see that. But that doesn't change the fact that he can't win twice in a row. That's my title, man.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Some shoulders gonna get bumped this year.
Right.
So, any type of strategy or challenge, or are you just getting ready to warm up to get going?
Yeah, it's just the time, man. Like the sun's out longer. My local field just opened up on the 1st of February, so it kind of floods during the winter, which is part of like why I haven't been practicing. So they just reopened February 1st. Which is unfortunately wasn't in time for this to get enough practice in. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to be out there 4 days a week, 8-hour days. You got to make it a job.
Yeah.
Got to make it a job. Well, we're going to look forward to you competing in year 4. We're going to see what the changes are for DRL, because we've heard a lot of rumors about it. They're changing up things. We don't really know what they are, but hopefully they'll share that with us soon enough.
Right. I don't really know what's going on. That's all, they know what they're doing. They've come this far in 3 years. My trust is really in them in terms of just pushing this sport forward.
Yeah. Now, after 3 years of professional racing, is it living up to your expectations of what you think this sport can go?
I think it's exceeded my expectations in the time span that we've come. 3 years ago, I used to get pulled over at the airport every single time because what the heck is that thing? But But now it's that's a racing drone.
I didn't even get my batteries checked this time.
I mean,
that was weird.
I think it's finally become a thing where it is most everybody has heard of, has an aunt or a niece or a nephew that races drones or flies drones or something. So it's becoming more normal. And that was the goal of DRL, right? Is bring this niche sport into the masses.
Right.
And I think they've done that, and they're just going to keep on pushing it.
Awesome. Sounds cool. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears. We're going to move away from his professional life and go into some of the business stuff that he's been doing. Obviously, if you don't know, Jordan Temkin has always been with Team Big Whoop, and they've been making frames since the end of time.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be doing something different. Project 399. Tell us about it.
So that's my solo album, if you want to call it that. Yeah, I mean, I work with Chris Fisher. We designed the XBR 220 back in 2015, and that was really the jumping off point for ultra lightweight race quads. And then I work with Zach with the X Lab Show Me What You Got stuff and the Stees and the Brap and the Shrikes. And now I've left that, and I think I started back in October. I started my own little company. And the goal really was just what is the simplest, easiest frame I can design Nothing special, nothing crazy, nothing trying to set itself apart. Like it looks like every other frame out there, and that's kind of the point, where it's just this refinement, right? I'm not trying to say I'm better because of this. It's more just taking the best parts that I've seen in the past, since 2013 that I've been flying, and trying to distill it down to be the best drone frame that I can for freestyle filming. So it's not the highest performance in terms of flippy flops, but it will let you, do 0 degree tilt, negative degree tilt, whatever you need to be able to like chase that car for that gig you got. Or for me, at least, it was chasing skiers and mountain bikers, and I really thought that there was a missing part right there, where there were all these frames that were specifically for doing flips and rolls through rando bandos, but I needed something that could fly in a straight line and get me pretty footage.
Exactly.
Right. It's just a fast forward flight, because at least for most all the filming gigs that I do, like the freelance work, they don't want you to do flips and rolls. Like,
yeah,
the subject is important.
Right. Well, and like as a non FPV pilot, it's really hard to watch that stuff. Right. So they just want like highly active, dynamic movements that won't make you sick. Exactly. So it's not the highest performing, but it will get you smooth video, and it won't break, and it's really easy to fix. And I also made it so I could like sell it out of my apartment, because I'm living in a 1-bedroom with a girl, and I don't have space, right? So I have 3 parts. I got a top plate, a mid plate, and arms. There's no camera bracket this and bottom bracket that and battery mount this. Like, it's just 3 parts. It's the least amount of like SKUs for me to deal with. So that was the main goal with mine. And then I do a lot of long range. I got a buddy out in Seattle area named Benson, who's just a madman when it comes to long range. And he inspired me to design 7-inch arms for it. So we built this Dead Cat version of the Super G, and it's actually taken off. What, the Super Dead Cat?
Dead Cat. Yeah, because I originally, before the Dead Cat came out, there was the Spider drone. And me and a guy named Delfonso out of Canada, we actually brought that to market and designed the Spider design.
So you're salty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I no doubt. I will. That's one of my pet peeves about this market is we actually had a name. We had a design.
Well, the Spider to me is like the Spider Hex. Like there's 6 arms.
Right.
So this only got 4
though. We took that off because of the movement of the arms, to get the arms completely out of the way, and because of the way we had the camera, because we originally set it up to run 2 cameras side by side. So it looked like a Spider from the front. And it just never took off. And then when the guy came out with the cat, and it hit the news, and then it was boom. Oh, that's the Dead Cat style. We was like, no. But that's another story.
So he was better at marketing than you.
That's what it was. Yeah. It was the news. As soon as everybody saw a cat on a quad, that was it.
What?
Womp,
okay.
Womp, womp,
Womp, womp.
It's all right. It's all right, Elvin. If we're on DRL and won 2 championships.
I know. It probably people would call it the Spider frame.
No. Hey,
they
that
call
sounds
it the jet frame now.
No.
Yeah, I mean it's taken off, man. It's a pretty like niche frame, right? It's 7-inch, so none of the racer guys are gonna buy it. It's specifically for like filming or long range. Yeah, man, it's cool. It's simple. It works. It's pretty. That's the other thing is I want to be able to put the bare frame on the wall and be like, oh yeah, that looks good. That
looks sexy.
Right. Yeah. That's the other key part for me, at least, is it's got to look good. It can't just be a square on a square.
I get it.
Square on a square.
Right.
Well, looks like Project 399 was designed specifically to cater to, I guess, filmmakers that need a little bit more dynamics than what a DJI Phantom would give you.
Right.
But at the same time, you still need to know what you're doing as a pilot to be able to fly this, because you're not going to get all of the nice assists that a DJI would afford you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was mostly just to scratch my own itch, which is, how all small businesses start.
True.
And then from there, it was, hey, man, can I get a frame too? And it also, I enjoy selling frames and like coming to a race, and then someone's like, hey, check it out. This is yours.
This is what I did with
yours. Yeah. And I really like that that puts a smile on my face. So the company, at least for me, it hasn't really made any money, but like it's just self-sustaining.
That's the main thing,
right?
And
I enjoy it, and it allows me to make shit like hats and battery straps and dumb things. So I mean that's
where it starts.
The biggest benefit I've had is I now have a giant bag of like 1,000 battery straps. And I don't have to ever worry
break
about
one.
yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I will say this: owning your own company affords you a lot of opportunities too, right? Because you're a small business owner, gives you a chance to get grants, connect with other businesses. So I think that's a really good, it's a good start to definitely go down.
Right.
Is there a name for your particular frame, or is it just called the 399?
It's called the Super G because which is a ski race. I needed a frame when I filmed Skier vs. Drone, which was on Solomon TV YouTube. It's at like 1.3 mil views now.
Yeah, baby. If you ain't seen it, go watch it.
Yeah, you should. And behind the scenes is pretty cool too. But pretty much there was that race that I was like, shit, I need a frame that works for my purposes, right? And that's why I named it that, because that was, I guess, the beginning of the idea.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is that like a GoPro specific frame that you carry, or?
I mean, it's designed to carry a GoPro.
Okay.
I wouldn't really recommend, like, there's plenty of other frames out there that are probably better for just freestyling if you're not going to carry a GoPro. But, I carry a Hero 7 on it.
Okay, cool. Any other frames coming out for that company, or is that kind of the only one right now?
Yeah, so I got a 10 and a 12-inch that I've been working on to hopefully carry a larger camera for that, because GoPros don't fly for legit non-web content. So I'm working on slightly larger rigs that can hopefully carry like a DSLR or something.
Some mirrorless camera of some sort.
The problem is it's going to cost like $200 if I want to sell it. Which is like pretty reasonable in the scheme of things.
That's not a lot of money when you're looking at cinematography.
But the FPV industry is a bunch of weenies who are cheapskates.
I agree.
This is not for them, though.
Yeah,
that's right.
So I'm probably going to design it. Well, I've already designed it. I have a prototype that I'll sell, and it's going to be kind of one of those, if you want it, you can buy it. Otherwise, there's plenty of other options out there. That's in the works. It's pretty rad. It's got 10 mil arms. It's a beefcake, which is why it's like $200.
Right.
And then
you lose 6 bits just cutting it.
Right. So I'm trying to fill this gap. Like, there's a couple dudes who are making. There's the Hildegard and the Nasty 10, and there's a couple like 10-inch macro quad size rigs out there, but I'm making one for my own because I can control all the parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's the other thing I've been doing actually is there's a lot of guys who like design 3D parts for quads, and I just give them my design files so they can actually design mods. Because if you want to clone my frame, it's as easy as looking at a picture and cloning it.
Right.
So to me, the more mods people can make for it, the more useful it is for me too, because I can mount different things.
Right.
But there's those projects. There's a couple other projects that I'm not going to talk about because I think they're incredibly novel, and I know no one's done them yet.
Well, when you do share it with us, definitely give us an opinion. We'll definitely talk about them.
Yeah, it's in the works. I mean, if it does work out the way I dream, it's going to be some mind-blowing shit.
Oh, awesome. We like mind-blowing shit here on the podcast.
Yeah.
He does.
But it's one of those difficult tasks that's it's going to take a bit of capital, as any R&D situation does. So this little garage business might actually pop into something legit if this pans out.
All right.
Yeah, I'm working on a prototype right now.
Awesome. Hey,
in a few months.
I hope it works out for you. Keep us in the loop when you're ready to go public.
Right.
Like in terms of, because you are, Mr. Professional, you're one of the few that can say that. Do you see like, FPV cinematography being a thing in the, commercial movie business? Do you see that path?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's already the AP guys who are floating cameras.
Right.
But but I know, like me, Paul, Gab, we do a lot of our income and work that we do during these off hours are like chasing these high action sports and doing like filming from angles that
Just
have otherwise
hard.
not ever existed. And I mean, Johnny's obviously the king of that stuff. I mean, if you've watched any of his, it's pretty incredible. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely space for it. I think it's just going to grow more and more. But the problem is it's highly competitive, right? That's what everybody wants to do.
Exactly.
Right.
So how do you
That's what I got involved. I mean,
Right.
that was my original thing was, oh, wow, I can put a camera on that and I can fly. And I don't need to go build a helicopter and
Right.
carry a DSLR. I can go shoot that now and not deal with it. And now we're going back. You know, we're going back to what we basically really brought the quads in for.
Right.
Was to give us that stable video
Right.
that we couldn't get with other things. You
Right.
know? So I really think that Sin drones is what I like to call it, is just Sin drones, cinematonic drones.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many other pilots, and like I got a buddy of mine his name is Whoop Weep. That's his handle.
Mm-hmm.
And he does videos for like the Blazers and Alaska Airlines and some other places, and he uses the same drones that you were talking about, like, you know, the Shin drones, little one. That thing is a hype thing now. So I'd like to see more of that, you know.
Right,
And
right.
I know you've been really focused on this cinematonic thing, like you and Gab and Nurk. You guys have actually opened up a market for some of the other
Right.
FPV pilots that really wasn't excelling in racing or excelling in freestyle, and now they got this little door panel where they can just walk down this alley and
Right.
and perform and do and be just as notable, just as performance grade, just as skill, and not have to worry about competing against each other.
Right. Another guy who's really blown up is Air Blaster, Johnny Durst.
Yes. Sorry about
He's
that.
also incredible.
Not to keep you down, brother.
No, he's like, I mean, in terms of nobody knew about him and now everybody knows him in the shortest span of time, like in recent years, I gotta say he's up there. I mean, because he does incredible work, man. He did a bunch of stuff for Pink Bike and all these drift videos, and yeah, and Level 1. Like, that's the thing. So I'm a skier.
Right. I know you are.
And like Level 1 they do trick ski videos, and I've been watching there since I was young. So it's really cool to see like guys I know working with people. And I mean, that was like, for me at least, like Solomon, I just did a shoot with them in January, and I got to ski for 2 weeks with dudes that I grew up watching skiing. Like, I used to go to their premieres and like watch their ski videos when I was in college, and then I got to hang out with them for 2 weeks. So this is what got me into drones, right? I come from a photography background, and I built my first quad for this purpose, and it's cool that it's finally come round circle to fulfill some dreams.
That's the same thing I feel about long range.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's like we're finally back to where we initially left the house for.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, your racing career isn't done yet, so
No,
you
no,
can't
no,
be
hell
spending
no.
too
Well,
much time on that.
And I see them as separate. They're
Entities.
separate. Yeah, like the filming and the long range is my art outlet, right? It's my creative like passion. Where racing is I got two brothers. Like, I am a competitive person.
Right.
So they're two completely separate things, and they can coexist.
Yep.
Hopefully forever.
I think the brother thing actually works for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
the you know, I don't know if you don't have a brother or a sister or, you know, a sibling, and you're all competitive, you don't have the same initial fight for mommy's love and daddy's, you know.
All right, so we're there, huh?
I'm a middle child, so I've always just been forgotten about.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own thing.
Right,
man.
That's
right.
the tough one.
I'm the
Middle child.
oldest, and so is he, you know, and like I'm always, my little brother is like, you know, like you, he's quiet,
just doing his own thing,
yeah, confident, you know, and he's like, he's like, but if you want something, you know, I got it.
It's cool. All right, Jet. Hey, appreciate the time, man. If people want to know about 333 or just want to follow you,
$3.99.
Sorry,
$3.99.
I apologize. If people want to follow 399 or just get in contact with you, where can they reach you?
Yeah, it's project399.com or 399project.com. I bought both the domains just in case you can't remember.
Smart.
They both go to the same place.
Right.
I also have an Instagram, which is the same, but most of my posts are on jet.fpv. I was doing more YouTube content up until the winter started, and then I got lazy.
That happens. Yeah.
So that's I'm gonna work that back up. But yeah, man. Really, it's just same old.
No, you got to keep up the grind if you want to be on top, right?
Mm-hmm,
You're on top right now. Oh, okay. Nurka's a little bit above you.
Yeah. Well, we're
Temporarily.
even. Yeah,
We're even.
We're
even.
even.
Temporary.
I like that. We're even. I'm gonna tell Nurk that. He's a competitive guy too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. We'll hear about this later.
I don't even know where he is. I haven't seen him all day.
Yeah, I saw him. I tried to throw a stick at him.
All right.
He got a big.
It's hard to miss, man.
All right. Last question, and we're out of here.
Sure.
You already gave us your number one. You already gave us Evan Turner as your number one, which is cheaping out. So I'm asking you for number two. Who's your number two?
Oh, who's number two, man? I haven't watched the field enough. Like, there's how many guys? 150 dudes out
it's
here.
tough.
There's more than one DRL pilot out here too.
Yeah, man. And well.
All right, I won't hold you to it because it is tough. We've already asked a couple of people this.
There's always Vanover, but so like that's why like Evan's just this kid who's happy and he's so like he's just this nice kid. That's why I really want him to win.
That's why we love him.
Yeah,
he's just a nice kid, nice parents,
and I know the glory won't get to his head. Right.
He's already gotten the glory in other RC things, and he's still
exactly,
grounded.
and he's still grounded, and that I really think that's important, at least for someone who, like, when you win a race like this, you set this precedent, where like the way you act, other people will follow suit.
Right.
True. So I think it's really important to act
professionally.
Right.
Act good.
Yeah.
We all been at races where somebody wins, and you just watch and you go.
Right, right. So I really want him to win just because I know he'll be a good champion, and I think that's the most important thing.
That is very important.
Right.
And like winning the championship here, it's the start of your career. It's not the end of your career.
Right.
So you gotta build on it. You gotta be humble to do that, like you guys have, because like we've heard your your trials, going into season 2, in which you didn't start hot and you really had to work your way through it. Mm-hmm. Nurk had the same thing, although his is a little bit more almost phantasmal because he's crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
And so we're rooting for the same people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then there's always going to be the kid who you
just
don't
never know.
Right, you never even knew he was there. And
who was that?
Robogenesis? I didn't know him until like he won that. I was like, what?
Yeah, man.
Who's Miyagi? What?
Yeah, no, that's probably not. Come on, let's be real here.
Oh, come on. I'll save it for the mountain.
There we go. You can go windsurf. All right.
Windsurf.
Good to talk to you, Jet.
Yeah, always good to talk to you guys.
All right, we're out for this.
Peace.
Later.